power line extends almost the length of this entire city block. A lot of car damage here, also a lot of property damage, a lot of roofs torn apart out here because the damage is significant. There are a lot of down power lines, so there are a lot of hazards that you need to keep in mind. If you look over here toward 15th Street, which was one of the blocks that was really hit hard, you can see traffic is being rerouted onto Atlantic to try to get people away from the oceanfront so authorities can clean up. Farther down there on 15th Street, we saw a car completely flooded near a church. A lot of damage here, as we heard from Amy Valdez from the Virginia Beach Fire Department. 4 people were transported to the hospital in this city, in this section of the city. Right here, you see Dominion Power trying to restore some power along Pacific Avenue. Pacific Avenue, or at least in this 5-block radius, power is completely out. Farther down there is a surf shop, which on the other side, we can't see it from our vantage point, but from on the other side, the wall is completely torn apart. So a lot of significant damage here. A lot of people just coming out trying to figure out what they can do to clean up. But again, authorities do not want too many people out here because it is dangerous. They want you to stay inside so authorities can clean up. Live in Virginia Beach, Eric Kane, 13 News Now.
13 News Now begins in storm mode.
What? All right, good afternoon to you. Janet Roach here along with Regina Mobley, and all afternoon we've been following the big story, major storms, a tornado that has touched down in Southampton County, and storms that have rolled through Southampton roads, causing a lot of damage and even injuries in Virginia Beach.
Let's check it out with our chief meteorologist, Jeff Lawson.
All right, the first thing, we have some good news, and that is that many of you watching right now are no longer under the severe thunderstorm watch. That's in effect till 9 p.m. this evening, and it no longer includes hardly any parts of Virginia except for central and southern Virginia Beach, extreme southeastern Chesapeake, and northeast North Carolina. But you know what? That really doesn't need to be in effect either. We can pretty much take all of Virginia now out of the severe thunderstorm watch area. Unfortunately, we already had our storm, and now that has come rumbling through. So let's talk about, again, what's in store now as people get ready to clean up. You can see more showers and storms, and some downpours are possible. So why are we still calling for the possibility of more of these storms? Well, it's the fact that we have, again, more lines down in North Carolina right now. I can switch the views on this one a little bit and show you all of this stuff down across central and eastern North Carolina. There's stuff out west of Charlotte. All of that has to come rumbling through here a little bit later this evening. So we'll go back now to the conventional view. And again, the good news, at least during the overnight, is it shouldn't be anything too severe. But on top of what we've already seen in terms of rainfall, that could cause some issues. How much rain has fallen? We can take a look at that, and you'll notice some of these colors, the reds corresponding to over 5 inches of rain out there near out near there, Franklin, excuse me. And then when you get in a little bit closer here over Bowers Hill between Bell's Mill there and Chuckatuck and up south of Chuckatuck, those sort of orangey brownish color areas are indicating 3 to 4 inches of rain. Spots, many spots of yellow indicating around 3 inches of rain. So that's why we're getting all the flooding south side, not as much on the peninsula, although I'm sure there's some ponding on the roadway issues up there as well. Down in North Carolina, a lot of heavy rain. But again, that was one issue. We had the hail was another issue, and now we're talking about the downburst wind, and that certainly is possible. There was a funnel cloud that turned into a tornado down near the oceanfront. Well, it's not a matter of how much damage was done. It's all the way the direction of the damage lies, and we'll simply go down, take a look at it, and see if it's in various directions, which makes it a tornado, or if it's all in one direction, in which case it's a downburst wind. So again, we'll have to wait and see on that. But right now, the bad news for those areas is that we do have this storm getting ready to sort of bear down on the areas again. Near the I and the A in Virginia Beach, that's where we're talking in terms of this report, and where we have the reporters out there and the damage crews assessing things and cleaning up. But look, as we put this, I'm going to change it from 3 hours to just over the last 45 minutes and give you an idea. Everything's moving to the northeast. So take all this stuff over Colony Acres. We'll span this to the northeast now from Aragona Village down here toward the word Colony Acres. Take that to the northeast, and it's going to be over the oceanfront area at about 5:19. So they need to be aware that they're going to be hit again, not by a severe storm, but by some really heavy rain. And we're more concerned, of course, even than that, whether there's any lightning with it. And we had a little bit of lightning earlier. I've turned on the live lightning detector and see if that pops up here in a second or not. So we don't want them out there, even if they have rain gear on and they're starting to, again, work on triage and cleaning up. You don't want them to get hit by lightning from a secondary storm. But looks like maybe we don't have any cloud-to-ground lightning with that. So that'd be the good news. So again, overnight, more showers and storms, nothing severe. The only spot with any chance of severe weather is still mainland areas of Dare County and sort of east and then south down through maybe Ocracoke if this line holds together. We'll have the extended forecast, of course, coming up, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Jeff. We will stay on that story on the ocean front. Jeff just mentioned that the crews that have responded to the emergency may get a downpour any minute because of another system that is rolling through. The authorities are asking people to steer clear of the area. We have a crew on the scene. We will keep you posted. Keep in mind right now, medical authorities are starting in the field triage to deal with some of the injured there. So that is a very difficult situation right now that will be made even more difficult because of the weather that is coming.
All right, and the weather that already came through, check this out. This is hail in Capron, and the Southampton County's chief deputy sent us this picture. The hail is about as big as a tennis ball. And then the chief deputy also sent us a picture of a grain silo that was damaged in the storm. This is the wind and the rain that came through Southampton County when the storm came through, when there was a report of a tornado actually touching down. We're told that structurally about 3 or 4 homes were damaged, as well as a grain silo in Southampton County, and a number of trees down blocked a number of roads, Route 58, as well as some side streets as well. Then a lot of flooding in Ghent, in Norfolk, lots of reports of people getting caught, like right there, going through the flooded streets. We know this is an area that floods a lot. Crews, police, law enforcement are asking you not to venture out if you don't have to. You definitely want to avoid that downtown area because it floods all the time.
And we just saw the shot of Olney Road and Bush Street, an area that floods very heavily. Karen Hopkins has been surveying the damage. Also, Lynnhaven Mall, a major incident happened there today. The skylight was just that, a skylight. The rain came pouring into Lynnhaven Mall this afternoon, landing right on top of the food court there. You can see where they have had to put down some type of containers and tarp to try to contain the water there. That's all the downpour on top of Lynnhaven Mall this afternoon.
All right, for the flooding in Norfolk, Karen Hopkins, she's been monitoring that situation all afternoon, and she files this report.
Karen Hopkins here. I'm in downtown Norfolk off Granby Street. You can see behind me that traffic is definitely backed up. That's what I've been seeing all throughout downtown. I was on Olney, that was backed up. Monticello's backed up, all because of definitely high water on many streets, forcing drivers to detour. Some drivers taking the risk to plow through the high water. I did see many cars stuck in the water, and Good Samaritans helping people get out. And again, anywhere you go downtown, you'll probably hit some traffic. So if you can, definitely a good idea to stay off the roads right now. Reporting in Norfolk, Karen Hopkins, 13 News Now.
All right, we are watching the metro area, but we're also watching some of the outlying areas, including Cortland, where there is a major incident going on there tonight.
And that's where all of this started. Velma Scaife is out there, and she joins us now live. Velma, what's the latest in terms of all the damage there?
Well, we're off of Medicine Spring Road, which isn't far from Southampton County High School. And right now, as bad as things are right now, things are a lot better than, say, maybe an hour ago. Because right now, at times, they're allowing traffic to pass through this street. We've had a tree to fall down, blocking the road, along with a lot of debris. There were utility crews here not long ago repairing power lines that were down in this area. So they, for the most part, have got people back, in power here and are going on to the next location. And we've got a lot of debris here in the yards in this particular area. We didn't have any tree limbs or anything to fall on anybody's homes or anything like that, but there is a significant amount of damage to some of the outbuildings, some of the sheds. One woman stopped by here not long ago, and she says up the road the damage is a lot worse. She says that she rushed home from work. She works for the school system, and she rushed home from work work because her husband told her that a tree fell on their house. There were 3 members of her family home. All of them got out safely. There was a lot of hail associated with this storm, and in this area we've had 2 state police cruisers to be in this area, and they've got a lot of damage. This looks like raindrops, but for the most part these are dimples that are in the car, if you can see that, if that's showing up at all. And this window is also cracked. The other cruiser that was here a little while ago had much more damage than this one. Trooper Sarah Pemberton drove through this storm. You've never seen any hail like this before.
No, ma'am, I have not.
Tell me about it. What was it like?
It was very loud when it hit the car, especially. It was very large hail, golf ball size to baseball size hail. Never seen that kind of hail before, but...
Did you at one point think maybe I should stop and let this pass, or did you think maybe we just need to drive on through and get to our destination?
At one point it did cross my mind that maybe we should stop and wait for it to pass, but my partner and I, we just slowed down and we drove right through it. And at times I was thinking there was a tornado about to come through, but it didn't, so we were good.
You've got some stories to tell tonight at dinner time whenever you make it home.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. We've got a big piece of heavy equipment now trying to get through. I'm not sure exactly what they're getting ready to do, but they certainly are not getting ready to go home because there's too much damage here in this section of Cortland. Live in Cortland, Velma Scape, 13 News Now.
All right, Velma, thank you. You can see parts of 58 still closed after what happened earlier this afternoon. We want to head back to Virginia Beach. Lots of damage there. And we have a resident who went out and took some photos for us. He is Mike Burgess. Joins us now over the phone. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Tell us what you saw.
Well, I was actually inside when it all happened. I came out afterwards, talked with the neighbors, and she said that she saw all her furniture flying around in the backyard after she heard what sounded like a train come through. And right now what I'm looking at is kind of like, it looks like a path. It started in the house across the street's backyard, went through there, took all the fences out, went over top of another house, topped all the trees there, turned an RV around sideways in the driveway, and then it was gone. It lasted about 15 seconds, maybe less.
Mike, you're in southern Virginia Beach near General Booth and London Bridge Road. Do you have power in that part of town right now?
Yes, we do. There's, at least on my side of the street, it looks like there's power on the other side, too.
And just looking at your pictures, I mean, it looks like trees are down all over the place. I mean, are the roads passable where you are?
Yes, there's nothing in the roads, but there's some severe tree damage and a lot of fences that are just gone.
Mike, where you live in Red Mill, are most of the power lines underground?
Yes, they're all underground.
Okay, and along General Booth, were you able to determine whether there were any power lines down along General Booth, because there are exposed lines there?
There is exposed lines, but I haven't been out on General Booth since this happened.
Mike, another question. When you're looking at the fence and the trees and how they fell down, are they all leaning like in the same direction?
Some of them are. Some of them. Most of it's just gone. I talked to the one people in the adjoining neighborhood whose whole backyard was exposed because of the fence is gone. She said their fence is all in the front yard now.
Okay.
So their backyard fence is now in their front yard?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is just remarkable for this large structure to become airborne.
It looks like it just tapped down right in between 2 backyards. And it ripped a hole in one guy's house. He's out there fixing that now.
How large is this hole, Mike?
Oh, I don't know, 6 or 8 foot. Something might have hit it and taken that hole out of it. I think one of the pictures I just sent has a picture of the hole.
Okay.
Is this large enough such that his house may be condemned?
No, it's not that bad now.
Okay. All right. Well, Mike, we appreciate you talking with us and sharing your photos. Stay safe.
We'll do that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Remarkable damage. Remarkable. The backyard fence is now in the front yard. So Jeff was asking us to ask Mike about how the damage fell because he's trying to determine straight line winds or was there some rotation involved here. And based on what Mike just told us, the backyard fence now in the front yard, certainly that will have to be added to the equation.
Yeah, certainly a lot of damage down in Virginia Beach. All right, we want to, well, actually, we have some road closures we want to tell you about right now. The big thing is the Midtown Tunnel. It's closed in both directions, and they've been rerouting traffic to the downtown tunnel all afternoon long, and obviously that is a huge traffic situation there. We also have Route 652 shut down and flooded, and Route 56 West. Okay, we just learned the Midtown is open. Our producer is telling us in our ear that the Midtown is now open, so that is a relief. And so crews have been asking all afternoon long for people not to venture out into the roads because we've had a number of bad accidents out there as well from high water and people just being out there in such a bad weather situation. All
right, let's head to the Virginia Beach oceanfront. There is a major situation going on down there. All levels of government are responding. There's a major medical issue involving some people there. Tell us about it, Eric Kane.
Yeah, Regina, as you mentioned, there is a ton of damage out here. A lot of people just getting out here to assess it, including some people who live right nearby. I'm with Robert and Mike, and I understand you guys live just down the street from where all of this happened. So what happened? What did you see?
We were cruising down on the boardwalk, and then all of a sudden the weather got really bad, and we got stuck in a parking garage. And then all of a sudden a tornado came through the strip, and things were flying everywhere. Trash cans went everywhere.
And so when you're in the parking garage, you just saw a lot of wind pick up, and what did you see go flying and everything?
Just metal sheets from the siding of the buildings.
Well, we just heard a loud bang. I'm not sure exactly what it was. There's obviously a lot of power lines down, so it could have been something associated with that. We'll look into it. But again, you saw a lot of wind and metal flying around?
Debris and just a lot of stuff flying through the air, like trees touching the ground almost, but it was crazy.
And so when you look down this street that we're looking right here, 16th Street near Pacific, just what goes through your mind? Have you ever seen something like this?
No, this is the first time I've ever witnessed something like this.
Yeah, I've never experienced it.
I've seen hurricanes in my lifetime, but I've never noticed something this bad.
And it seems like it really took a lot of people by surprise because this wasn't a hurricane. This was just a severe, thunderstorm.
Yeah, thunderstorm, like they said on the news, and all of a sudden a tornado came out of nowhere, and the sky turned like really blue. Yeah. And it started swirling a little bit, and then all of a sudden the wind picked up and it came through bad.
All right, well, Robert and Mike, I'm so glad that both of you are safe. Thank you so much. But as we mentioned, that there are at least four people in this 5-block area along the oceanfront that were taken to the hospital. So we're still trying to confirm the extent of their injuries and if anyone else was taken. But as you can see, a lot of damage still to be cleaned up here along the oceanfront. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, quick question for you, Eric. The authorities, are they responding right now, the emergency personnel and utilities and things of that nature?
Well, I believe we reported earlier that Centera has set up a mass casualty center to deal with this right now. As far as authorities, I have seen police mostly here along Pacific Avenue directing traffic away from the affected area. Of course, you see right now Dominion Power trying to restore electricity. So far as we've seen, as far as authorities are concerned, mostly police. We've seen fire and an ambulance along here. But again, there's still a lot to be cleaned up around here, a lot of stuff to get back in place after this huge storm.
And Eric, just one more quick question. The two gentlemen that you spoke to there, they talked about a tornado. Did they actually see a funnel cloud? Do you know?
Well, let me ask them real fast. What made you guys say it was a tornado? Did you see a funnel cloud? What did you see?
Yeah, everything was circling around, and then we talked to a few people on the beach right after it happened, and they said the same thing.
So just like a funnel cloud, a lot of circular motion, things go flying around in a circular motion, basically?
Yeah.
All right, so of course, I'm not sure if we've confirmed that if it was in fact a tornado, but as we understand, at least a funnel cloud, at least they saw debris flying around in a circular motion along here on the oceanfront, and given the damage, that's not surprising. Janet, Regina?
Thanks so much, Eric. This will have to be investigated. Jeff is telling us officially no confirmation that there was a tornado in Virginia Beach. This will be investigated by the authorities.
All right, but we do have confirmation that there is flooding in Norfolk. We want to talk to Lori Crouch from the city of Norfolk right now. She joins us by phone. Good afternoon, Lori.
Good afternoon.
Describe the situation in the city of Norfolk in terms of flooding.
Well, good news right now, water is receding, but at the height of the storm, we had about 29 reports of flooded streets throughout the city. Right now, we had at one point water under 3 of our underpasses, but the water is receding. Monticello is open, but there is an accident there, so it is blocking the overpass. The underpass. But Tidewater St. Julian is open. Tidewater at Virginia Beach Boulevard underpass is open, but that intersection is a little bit underwater. And really right now, it's just all of this is coming at a time when folks are trying to get home. So we're just reminding folks if they come across a road that has some water on it to just really not try and drive through it, because we don't want to add stalled cars to blocking traffic.
Lori, we saw significant flooding in Spartan Village, also significant flooding around the Tidewater Gardens neighborhood. Any word on whether floodwaters actually entered any homes and whether people may have to evacuate their homes?
No, we haven't received any reports of water getting into folks' home. We haven't gotten any of those calls. And as you all know, that storm came through very quickly and got a lot of rain in a very short period of time. And any time you get a lot of rain in a short period of time, especially in our areas that are prone to flooding, we're going to see some water. But we have not received any reports of people calling in saying that they had water in their home.
That's good news.
All right. Well, Lori, we appreciate you taking some time to talk with us, and we'll check back in with you a little bit later.
All right. You all have a good evening.
All right, thank you. All right, let's check in now with State Police spokesperson Sergeant Anai to check on our roads and highways. Sergeant.
Hi, how are you doing?
We're doing fine. How are you? I know when we last talked, you were talking about how the troopers were helping to clear a lot of the debris along with VDOT on 58. How's that going?
Correct. VDOT and State Police, along with the Sheriff's Department, have pretty much cleared up most of the large obstructions and debris from the roadways. 58 is clear, and so are some of the alternate routes off of between Capron and Franklin.
Michelle, can you run down again the advisory that you all put out around 1 o'clock this afternoon when you were first reporting the tornado that touched down in Capron?
We were advising motorists to avoid using Route 58 between the city of Franklin and the town of Capron in Southampton County at approximately 1:15 p.m. What believed to be a tornado caused severe storm damage along the highway and other roads in that area. The immediate area at that time was experiencing golf ball-sized hail that did a lot of damage. Residents were advised to take shelter during the course of the storm and to avoid driving if at all possible. Most of Route 58 was at a shutdown and a standstill for approximately about 2 miles, and we had one of the routes that was shut down and flooded.
All right, but things are a lot better now. Are troopers still out assisting VDOT in clearing some areas? Are you seeing down power lines?
Yes, we do still have down power lines. We are still seeing there's still a lot of rain and debris in the roadway. Troopers are still working with VDOT to ensure that nobody is injured. At this time, we have no reported injuries, but they're still driving around to ensure checking on disabled vehicles and anybody that's still in the area.
All right, use caution tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let's check it out with our chief meteorologist, Jeff Lawson. Jeff, what is your area of greatest concern right now?
Well, the rain, the fact that we continue to see some of these pockets of heavy rain, that could certainly cause some more flooding issues as we go through the overnight. And then a little bit concerned still from around Nags Head south that we could see some severe weather down there. We certainly have a big thunderstorm. Also want to emphasize that what I was saying earlier, all I'm saying, don't get me wrong, is that we don't know for sure it was a tornado till we look at the damage path. because it certainly could have been. In fact, looking back, there was about a 3 or 4 minute period where there was a little bit of a sign of rotation, just briefly, down around the ocean front as one storm came in from the west and another one came up from the south, and that sort of combined and merged, might have tried to spin something up. But as Julie and I were both emphasizing, it does not matter if it's 80 miles per hour in one direction from a thunderstorm, or if you get 80 in one direction and your neighbor one house over gets 80 in the other direction, both of you are going to see identical damage. So tornado, it doesn't really matter, and that's why we give people these warnings for these thunderstorms, because when you get winds up to 70 or 80 miles per hour, it can and does do the exact same kind of damage as a tornado. So we'll just wait and see, you know, what happens. But the bottom line is we knew we had damaging winds. We warned people, and now we've had those damaging winds, unfortunately, come to fruition down there. The other thing, again, I'm a little concerned with is that everybody is still out there with some of these lightning strikes, and most of them are a little bit north of where they are in Virginia Beach, but we still have at least some thunder and lightning out there as everybody is still out there trying to clean up. Hopefully that's going to be gone here shortly. But notice some of these other pockets out there with more showers and storms, and a few downpours are possible, so we're going to have to watch for that possibility as we go through the overnight and into tomorrow, because Futurecast has the one line moving through as we go through the evening hours. Temperatures, by the way, nice and cool, at least, behind the outflow from these storms. But notice a couple other of these lines try to move toward us a little bit later tonight, just like last night. It'll be a slow process to get them to shrink down and weaken, but we should still at least see a couple more showers and storms during the overnight and even into tomorrow. In fact, the odds of seeing wet weather may be highest tomorrow morning versus tomorrow afternoon, even though the stuff tomorrow afternoon that fires up would be much stronger than what tries to get going in the morning. Look at 6 o'clock, for example. Some showers and storms here, not just in North Carolina, but a couple trying to fire up here into Hampton Roads. Fair amount of cloudiness, temperatures staying in the 70s through the morning, a few more showers potentially. And then once we get into the afternoon, then, again, the better chance for some stronger storms firing up down across North Carolina. We have another decent shot at a severe thunderstorm watch tomorrow from the Outer Banks south. I doubt we'll see it here. I'd say right now the odds are it'd be a little bit south of us, but notice the continued threat, again, of at least some wet weather even into the afternoon. Here's what I was talking about when I said there are some more areas of rain trying to move to the northeast that could affect us. Here's the main line that has come through, and now we still have some stuff out here near Raleigh. We have some stuff near Charlotte. That's some of what moves in here a little bit later tonight at times. So more scattered showers and storms tonight, a few downpours still possible, lows of 73 tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms, the best chance may be in the morning, even though the stronger storms would tend to be in the afternoon. And again, maybe a little bit more to the south. A high temperature of 85 degrees. Tomorrow night, 72, cloudy and mild. Some patches of light rain are possible. And then the 7-day forecast, about a 15% chance of a shower still on Saturday. 85, warming up Sunday up to 89 degrees. And then we start to see the heat coming in again next week as the 90s return. In fact, maybe some mid-90s there by Tuesday with a shower or a storm possible Monday, Tuesday. A little bit better shot at some scattered showers and storms Wednesday and Thursday. So certainly some strong winds, whether they were 80 in a hurricane, in a tornado or 80 in a straight line wind damage. Lots of problems.
All right. Thanks so much, Jeff. We have some new information in from Centera right now regarding that mass casualty bus. Originally, it was going to deploy to Rescue 14th, that building on 19th Street. They have now moved the location of the mass casualty bus to Virginia Beach Boulevard and Parks Avenue. This is near the convention center. Again, the mass casualty bus to deal with anyone who has been injured in the area of the oceanfront has been moved to Virginia Beach Boulevard and Parks Avenue near the convention center.
All right, we've been getting a lot of your pictures kind of telling the story of this storm across Southampton roads. We want to go to Lucy Bustamante, who's going to share some more with us.
Yes, and thank you so much for sending these in to all of our citizen reporters out there. It's very hard for us to be at all of these places at the same time, so you're definitely adding so much to what's going on out there. This was the aftermath from last night in our neighborhood's backyard in Ocean View. This viewer here sent that in, and if you remember, it was very, very loud last night. It was definitely a very strong storm last night. night, but today has been the most dramatic that we've seen. Lynn Haven Mall, it was raining inside of the mall. It was going through the glass ceiling right above the Starbucks. They had to put tarp all over the kiosks that are usually in the middle of the mall where they have all of their holiday setups there. There's also right outside of this lady's front door, Princess Anne Road in Norfolk, Linda Johnson Butts. Thanks so much for sending that.